Joining us now, speaking of tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is the senior NFL insider for ESPN, Michigan man, Adam Schefter.
Gentlemen, what's going on?
Shefty, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all of them. We kind of put you in a box here for only 9 minutes, so we need a lot of information because there's been a lot of injuries and a lot of things happening. Let's start with tonight. San Francisco 49ers, 5.5-point favorites with the Indianapolis Colts. Phil Rivers looks smarter and faster than he's ever looked. What are a couple things we need to know before we pick tonight, Shefty?
Well, the 49ers have struggled to stop the run. Jonathan Taylor's been a machine. I think we'd have an idea of what's going to come tonight. I think the Colts are going to be feeding Jonathan Taylor. I think he gets a ton of work this evening in an area that the 49ers have struggled defensively. And the Colts activated DeForest Buckner a short time ago, so that's going to help their run defense and be a big factor tonight. First game back from a neck injury, no Sauce Gardner. He's out. And the Colts still are really good. It'll be Philip Rivers' second game with the team, and we'll see if he can save your franchise there and help get them to the playoffs in a game they have to have tonight.
Sixth Monday Night Football game in the history of Lucas Oil Stadium, the Loud House. Can't wait for it to be on display. I heard the halftime show is going to be electrifying.
Oh.
I saw a unicycle.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think I saw a unicycle. Not 100% sure, but I think I saw a unicycle. All right, let's move to some other NFL stories. Go ahead, Ty.
Shefty, any update on both Jordan Love and Lamar Jackson before that massive, playoff implication game between the Packers and the Ravens on Saturday?
Yeah, well, obviously there's some teams in some challenging quarterback spots here at the end of the season. The Packers are one, the Ravens are another. Packers have a situation where Love is still in protocol. Malik Willis banged up his shoulder. Now, the good part is I don't expect them to go sign another quarterback, which tells you that at least one of those guys should be able to go on Saturday. They have Clayton Tune on their practice squad. If one of them can't go, obviously they'd elevate Clayton Tune, and he would be the backup for Green Bay. But it sounds like they're not going to make another move for a quarterback, unlike a team like the Kansas City Chiefs that has to go at a quarterback after Mahomes and Minshew, hurt their knees back-to-back weeks. We expect it to be a torn ACL for Gardner Minshew. We said this to you last week about another player, Mahomes, I think it was, as a matter of fact. So they're going to have to add another quarterback to get through the final two games of the season.
Chiefs, penthouse to outhouse, quick. I mean, we're talking about dynasty about a week and a half ago now. 2 straight losses, a lot of injuries, lost to the Titans in Nashville. Obviously, congrats to them getting a little bit of happiness for at least a few moments. And to the Chiefs, who knows what the years going forward look like. Also, let's talk about the next couple weeks going forward. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Schefter, obviously we saw the interaction between DK Metcalf and the fan yesterday in Detroit. What is the timeline? When do we expect the NFL to make a decision on if there's a suspension or not, and do you have any indication on what that could be?
The decision I would expect to come in today. The league rules on discipline, usually on Mondays, usually later in the day, and I would expect in this particular case, obviously the fan said some things to taunt, torment, harass, badger, whatever word you want to use, DK Metcalf, but you can't do what he did to him. You can't put your hands on another fan. Again, when you speak to people around the league and look at how the league has reacted and responded to any number of situations this season, the league has not been shy in doling out suspensions. And I would think most people think that they're going to wind up suspending DK Metcalf here, and he's not going to be able to play a game that the Pittsburgh Steelers will wind up having to win that division.
I saw Graziano say that Mike Tomlin should have pulled him from the game and benched him and put him down. We all live in a reality where no coach would ever do that, and the Steelers are waiting for the NFL to basically make a decision here. Is that what we're assuming takes place?
Yeah, they'll, and the league will make a decision, and I would expect that to happen today.
Okay, sounds good. Speaking of decisions, there's seemingly some tough ones going forward. Go ahead, D-Bud.
Yeah, this is the time of year we start forecasting, new coaching vacancies going into the offseason. Kind of 2 different situations, but John Harbaugh in Baltimore. I know the Ravens fan base has been pretty loud about him, and then obviously Mike McDaniel down in Miami after that blowout loss against Cincinnati yesterday. What's the thoughts there?
I think with Baltimore, he's been such an institution there, John. It's hard for me to see whether you're talking about Mike Tomlin or John Harbaugh or Andy Reid, these situations going any which way other than what the coach wants it to. And I think when the coach feels like at a certain point, like, these guys they're almost tenured. I know that franchises belong to the owners, but there's a certain level of respect that you get when you have done it that long, usually. And I think Baltimore, if it falls short of the playoffs, as it certainly can, they're going to have the organizational meetings that they always do and move forward from there. Whatever change that means, whether that's a coaching change, or whether it means a player change. But I think there's some things up in the air if this team falls short here that they're going to have to go over. Every year after the season, Steve Bisciotti gets together key individuals with that organization, takes them out on their boat. They go out for a few days. They discuss what's ahead for the organization. And I'd love to be on that boat this year to hear some of those conversations and what's going to transpire. As for Mike McDaniel, people are saying he's safe. I don't think they've made any decisions there yet about his future. He might be safe, but he might not. I think that is still playing out in real time, and nothing has been decided there. And we'll see how that plays out over time. Nothing's decided there.
Okay, that's huge, obviously, for the Miami Dolphin fans and the Dolphin fam community down there. A couple minutes left here. Conman has a question for you.
Yeah, Schefter, first-year head coaches. Some are really good. Vrabel, Ben Johnson, Liam Cohen, but then some are very, very bad. Any chance, we see Pete Carroll or even Aaron Glenn maybe be one and done with how miserable they've been on offense, defense, special teams, just everything across the board?
I think the Jets have no intention of changing out Aaron Glenn after 1 year. I think that they like him and believe in him still, and I think he'll be given more time. When it comes to the Las Vegas Raiders, I think the year has not gone the way that everybody planned. I think all options are on the table, and I think obviously there'll be conversations there as to what happens moving forward with Pete and his future. Again, another one of those guys that I think deserves a tremendous amount of respect, and we'll see how they handle that in the offseason, but I think that one certainly is up in the air.
All the coordinators have been fired over there already.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
At the Raiders. So, I mean, that's kind of like, anytime that starts happening, it feels like they are willing to move. We love Pete Carroll as well, but we assume Tom Brady getting into ownership is not to do that or whatever happened there. Who knows what the future looks like. And for the Jets, whenever they traded away everything in stockpiled picks, felt like that was a mention like, hey, we are moving in the Aaron Glenn direction. Why didn't you move yourself to Indianapolis today? Huh? ESPN's not even Monday Night Football. You could have been right here. We gave you a little seat right here.
I didn't get invited to your studio today. Nobody invited me.
Open input.
Okay.
Well, that's because you're not here.
Okay, Schefter. All right, ladies and gentlemen, he's the man.
I've never been to the Thunderdome. Never been to the Thunderdome.
Wow.
I'm disgusted.
But hold on. Not only have I never been to the Thunderdome, I've never been invited to the Thunderdome.
Shut up.
I don't believe that for a
That's
second.
Adam Schefter, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
It's not true.